Alright, let's get this out of the way. Just finished watching this episode. Um, let me preface this video with this. If you haven't seen Professor Geek, I highly recommend his channel, but he mentions what you watch affects you subconsciously. And to choose what you watch, how does he phrase it? Consume stories responsibly, right? Everything that enters your mind affects your subconscious mind. And I need to stop. I don't want to say this was a hate watch for She-Hulk, but I need to, after this, I'm not going to get into things that people are not liking, because this is a waste of my time, and it makes me not happy. And I have to read comments on different sites of people arguing about why it's good or not good. If there's such a discourse and disagreement amongst the fans, I would argue your show has a problem. Like, I don't know if anyone liked Ghostbusters 2016, but Ghostbusters, The Last Jedi, most of what Star Wars has been doing, Solo, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Phase 4. If everything is like, if people can't come together and like it, like not everyone thought Endgame was the best. Infinity War, I feel, was better, but if the majority of people can't get behind it, your show has problems. Don't rely on insulting your fans or the people that do support it fighting with the fans that don't like it. This is not gonna help your cause. But I'm gonna finish this season out, because what I hear is like, well, you didn't watch it. Well, it's a sitcom. Well, it's not funny and I don't like it for what it is. Well, it's not for you. Why are you watching it? I mean, let's shift the goalpost. Is what you like good? That's subjective, but there's something, like, you can apply objectivity to whether or not something is good, like The Room, but I don't know. Again, most Rotten Tomatoes is in the gutter. You can call it review bombing, but you cannot objectively say it's just people that haven't watched the show and don't like it just for the sake of doing it. You cannot say that, because people are watching it, not liking it, disliking it. You can call them whatever names you want. Your show has problems. Sorry. Anyway, let's go over this. Jen. So, Josh, that she met in the last episode. I'm going to recap this for anyone, probably Sam. But in the last episode, she's going on dates with him. You see, it's like, like some music. I'm not going to play it. She's like happy at work, texting him. Did he seriously send her? Yes, he sent her a text about fries. Okay, anyway. I don't know who sent which, but whatever. So back and forth, dates. And they finally have one good night, but she wakes up and Josh is not there. Where could he be? She texts him. She says, what does she say? She says, "That was fun. I can't stop smiling." No response. She's at work. No response. Talking to her friend. No response. Doing yoga. No response. Watching the Muppets. No response. Watching Miss Piggy. No response. Sunday. What? So still no response. She gets a call from Blonsky's parole officer saying that there's a malfunction with his inhibitor. He asks her to come because she's a Hulk. Very interesting. And he fixes Blonsky's thing and runs away. So they're at Blonsky's resort. She's about to leave, and Manbull and Elgia, sorry. They're two guys that are fighting. One guy's a Manbull, and one guy is dressed up like a I don't want to say matador, because his whole thing is I'm not a matador. People think I'm a matador and we fight, but I'm not a matador. But they wreck her car. She gets mad and turns into the Hulk just for a second to throw Manbull. So she's stuck there trying to get service. Blonsky's showing her around. So she's trying to get cell service just to check for a text from Josh. This poor woman. And so she stumbles into a group therapy session with the other people. I'm not gonna, it's not Matador, Manbull. This guy who thinks he's a vampire. This guy who thinks he's a porcupine. So they're talking, blah, blah, therapy, blah, blah. Jin's sitting there, blah, blah, more therapy. And the guy, this is a problem here. The guy that tried to mug her to take her blood, the leader of that group, comes in. And they have this little, she does a fourth wall break just to say, previously on. And then we see it's the guy. There's a problem here. So she picks him up and throws him, wants to fight him. But, again, he sits down and says listen, me and my guys were dumb at the time. That's not who I am anymore. I'm trying to work through it. And that's, so let me pause here. She thinks that's enough. First off, no. Jin is a lawyer in the superhero division. And I don't understand, the subplot happens because she, especially here, is neglectful. After the first time that she gets mugged, it turns to the She-Hulk, fights them off. She doesn't chase them. They walk their car's right down the road. She doesn't chase them. Her dad is like, why aren't you trying to get the cops to find them? She just says, I'm a lawyer. These guys, the cops would never find them. You saw 3 of their faces. And even in the previously on, you saw 3 of their faces. Do you not care? This is the sweet irony of Bruce saying, listen, you are a Hulk now. Your life is different. She gets mugged. If she wasn't the She-Hulk, she probably she probably would not have survived, but she gets mugged. She she gets mugged. She, I guess, knows or even doesn't know that they're trying to steal her blood. Maybe I think she looked at the syringe at the time. But do you not see that something is wrong here? Do you not? This guy, going back, the Wrecking Crew, which apparently was good in the comics, and they're just a joke here, but do you not care that there is some underground organization trying to gain access to your powers when you have Blonsky, which is basically the result of, I don't know if it was, I forget the movie, but Bruce's blood or the same gamma exposure. Still, something to do with Bruce Banner. You have him in the same show, and people are trying to reenact the same thing to you, and you just do not care. Those guys, the cops are never going to find those guys. How are you involved in law? Bruce would be very upset. Also, the rest of the Avengers, like another Hulk being on the planet, like Shield, or I guess it doesn't exist, but Doctor Strange or Rhodey, somebody like Wakanda, if they care, should be somebody needs to be hello, Mrs. Hulk, we need your help. Otherwise, you're just don't try to cover it up with there's a lot of people like this out there. Oh, come on, man. It's a Hulk. It's Bruce's cousin. Bruce Banner's cousin. Anyway, that's number 1. Number 2, they sit down and So the Wrecking Crew guy, I think his name is. He's like, I just those duels. She says, you attacked a woman 4 to 5. You absolutely were supervillains. Okay. She's more than just a woman. She is a Hulk. She is a Hulk. If it was just, like, seriously, if it was just Jen, if they knew that she couldn't turn into the Hulk, they would just need, like, 2 of them? Maybe 1? Ladies, protect yourselves. Anyway, but, like, they brought 4 guys and they had weapons. Like, yes, you're getting Hulk blood. You probably need some backup here. You probably need 4 guys and some weapons. You should rephrase it as I think she said the villain's part sarcastically, but you attacked a Hulk. This is non-sarcastic. Not sarcastic. You attacked a Hulk. You're supervillains. Maybe. But it's like, you attacked 4 women. Like you guys are pathetic because you attacked one woman with 4 men. Sarcastically, you are not a supervillain. You know what I'm trying to say. It's like, listen, this is not about you just being a woman. This is about you being a Hulk. Like, stop it. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Blonsky notices, like, she's being very defensive, still in the Hulk form. Blonsky's like, get off your phone. Why are you on your phone? She's like, I met a guy. Like, why is she not following up? Like, at the end of this conversation, like, put the pieces together. Like, he stopped talking to me after 3 days. Like, this, like, she's like, I thought I could just be myself, but now I'm just a pretty girl, and I can turn into the pretty girl whenever I want, and I don't like it, and I just want people to like me for who I am. They're like, we like you. First off, let me back up. These guys are, like, comically, how should I put this? Like, giant pushovers. I don't know. just not. Funnily enough, oddly enough, what's this guy's name? The Wrecking Crew guy is like the most masculine out of them all, but I don't know. It's just like they just seem pretty weak to me. I don't know what this show is trying to do. Like people will argue like, hey, it's not bashing on men. If it portrays men, it's this kind of men, and you shouldn't worry about it because you're not that kind of man. Let me tell you something. Men need to support men. Women need to support women. I'm not going to absolve the actions of what men do. That's not in question here, but when it's like this huge, it's like almost like a parody at a certain point, then it's just like, is this like, don't hold on, let me get his name really quick. Oh, his name is Wrecker. So when most of the men in your show act a certain way, it gets pretty obvious and pretty annoying. Don't tell me like, well, don't worry about it because not all men act like this. And if it's not you, don't worry about it. Yeah, but every man you're showing me is annoying. It's so blatant. It's so annoying that it just makes me think this is what you think of men. I have all these writers like let's go back. The other lawyer, the guy that hit on her, the Mr. Immortal, these guys. There's only, and even Josh, like, he was going to be the bad guy, but even him, it's like, everyone is just which I'm surprised that the father of Jin wasn't an idiot, which makes me wonder why she has issues. But it's like this lets me know what you think of most men. Like, give me like 3 that are good examples. Like, the head lawyer is fine, but he's not great. But I haven't seen him in a few episodes. But I don't know. I don't understand. Like what? Like are they just mocking these people, and like are they or are they mocking this kind of people? They just seem pretty. I don't know. Not masculine. That's I'm just gonna say, but it's like a caricature, and it's just uncomfortable. So they're like, well, I need to. Jen's like, I need to work on myself, and they say, well, delete his number. And she goes in the yurt, which is a sweat box. She's leaving, gives some quip to Blonsky, like I liked it, but get Wi-Fi. And then they do a flashback of Josh. I thought it was going to be a blood thing, but then I thought it wasn't because they go back to their good date. He gets up in the middle of the night, puts his phone on her phone, which I guess he took it because it's on his side of the bed. And he's stealing some sort of data. And then he sends a text where he's the Hulk King. Like he's like, well, no, wait. I guess that's who he's sending it to, but he posts a little blood emoji, green vial emoji, and a thumbs up, like I got the blood. There's Josh. You thought Josh was a good guy? And that's it. Men are terrible. Let's go through all the men in this. Josh, who's the evil guy. The parole officer, who's kind of, I would say he's weak, but like, man, he's gonna go up against an abomination. Whatever. You have the other maybe superpowered people. They're pathetic. Blonsky, I don't know. I'm sad what they've done to you. Wrecker. And then that's it. Just either like villains, pushovers, or cowards. Where the good her father has been. Her father, the lawyer, is kind of a blank piece of wood, or blank like a plank of wood, but like come on, like this I don't like if you had a show with a bunch of dudes, like let's go back. Everyone's like, well, you had the Avengers. Fine. If you had the Avengers and Black Widow was a joke, and every female that you came across, Pepper Potts, the Wasp, the Guardians of the Galaxy. If you had every single one of them act stupidly, would your show, like that show would not get made. But like even from my angle, like Madison in this, so annoying. Like what are you portraying? But then she becomes friends with Wong. What kind of people are you portraying here to aspire to? Don't give me this it's a sitcom nonsense, because you're slapping sitcom onto a character in the MCU who's eventually supposed to be part of what, the A-Team or one of the Avengers groups, whatever. It can, like, stuff is funny that it's not a sitcom. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 are hilarious. Are those sitcoms? Thor Ragnarok, Love and Thunder, they tried too hard, but like what do you label? Like people are like, well, Love and Thunder, Korg's told it. So if you did mental gymnastics and thought that Korg told the story the way he would tell it, it would be goofy. Therefore, I'm going to see it as that perspective and give everything else a pass. Stop that nonsense. The show, as I stated in my little intro, I'm not going to waste my time with this. Consume stories responsibly. Because listen to the way I don't like feeling like this. Okay, now I'm in it. Like a bajillion episodes ago, we got a Daredevil tease, and I never watched Daredevil on Netflix, and I should, because the crowd of people that they're baiting, that crowd who have the crowd that was like probably what Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Daredevil, that crew, Agents of Shield, the Netflix Marvel crew, those group of fans are being baited with one little helmet and the previews, which is probably the last episode because there's only 2 left. They're being baited with a little helmet of Daredevil, and anyone that, like me, that has heard how good it is being baited along as well. Because She-Hulk is pathetic. There's nothing about Tatiana, that I like. Like, what did she learn here? she didn't learn, like, hey, you should probably ask the guy that tried to steal your blood, like, hey, now that we're cool, can you tell me why you did that and give me names, and you should probably be arrested. But nope, she's just giving him a pass. And all that happens is she says, I have She-Hulk, but I don't think Jen is good enough. All the guys say, you're good enough. The guy was in the wrong. I don't know. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Like, I mean, it's hard to say because, yes, he was faking it, but your life is different now. You're a giant green monster, and don't think that, like, none of this comes across your radar. Like, my cousin, Blonsky, blood. I'm a Hulk. They try to get my blood. Maybe I should be a little concerned about people getting close, but nope. She just does not care because she's trying to live this life that is... It's like her life is completely different now. All right? How long is this rant? It's getting tiring, but, Sam and I, we're fathers. There comes a point in time where you must understand that the life you think that you are able to still live, when you have something else happen, you cannot go back. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to, adapt, okay? You can't live the exact same life. And this is that story on steroids. But man, like, she is, shame on her. That's how my face looks. Like, she lit the guy's getaway the first time. She should be questioning this Josh fellow. Sorry, that's just the way it is. And she lets Wrecker just, I tried to steal your blood, but let me just get you to talk about your feelings and bye. That's it. Like, follow up. You do not care about the law if you just let it slide, okay? Jen allowed this to happen. That's just the objective fact about this. This is why this show, that's, you can talk about I like it just because, but you want to point to something? Jen allowed her blood to be taken. And you're going to make a villain out of her own making. Her own making. She did it to herself. I don't care what you say. It wasn't her fault. It's her responsibility. Okay? Not her fault, but it's her responsibility. 2, protect herself against, like, don't give me that. Don't you dare bring in the, like, well, women shouldn't need to be afraid. This is not man versus woman. This is a superhero's blood that is worth a bajillion points. Bajillion dollars. The government should be coming after her. All right, Bruce lay hidden. I don't know if things changed because of the Avengers, but anyway, I want to close this out. So we know what happens while surprise Josh steals blood. No post-credit scene. I want to talk about the comics because when she discovered that Bruce gave her the blood transfusion, she turned to the She-Hulk. She saw it as, no, Bruce, thank you. I now see this as a responsibility to be something better than what I am. There is none of that here. And she like basically threw water in Bruce's face, and now it's like coming back to bite her. But it's like it's going to be painted as like, oh, woe is me. Here's a villain. Like, girl, you let everything slide because you're selfish. Like, honestly, like I don't even know what's happened in this show. Like, let's do She-Hulk episodes. Like, what has happened? What has happened to get anywhere close to like developing a character, let's see. She becomes She-Hulk, the first episode. She's has to represent Blonsky. Let's see. All right, she defends Blonsky. She stops the guy from doing magic, but it interrupts her date, and then the guy doesn't like her. Like her, I don't even know if you want to. And then Titania, I was about to say Tatiana, brands her name. She stops it. She fights her. She's at a wedding, wedding is just weird. Let's see. Oh wait, no, that episode she was dating people. So it's basically her having to do a little bit of work, unsuccessful dates, being drunk at a wedding. Initially wanted to go to the wedding as She-Hulk because I want to look good, which that wasn't developed enough. And then this one where she talks about herself doesn't really work. Like, what is she? Like, she has to come to accept herself? Is there anything that she needs to learn here or become better than what she is? Nope, she has to accept herself for who she is. Stop this. So she has learned nothing. There's always something to learn. That's how people grow. That's it. Let me know what you think. I guess I'm going to watch next week because I can't stop myself. But I'm not doing this for other shows. Like, this is eating up my time, my headspace. It's not good for you. So, yes, I'm going to watch it. Why? Don't tell me to not watch it. I'm going to watch it because I want to. But for the people out there that agree with me, just don't, go in cautiously, not cautiously optimistic. Just say, I'm going to wait to hear what people say. If it's sitting at a 30-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, don't do it. Spare yourself. Sorry that took so long. Thanks for watching. Bye. Subscribe.